of you have pets at home? Oh, okay. Anybody have dogs? How many of you think that your dog is the cutest dog in the world? Okay. Well, thanks for playing. We're going to treat you like dogs. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to treat you like dogs. I'd like to introduce you to what I think is the cutest dog in the world, Dr. Parfait-Dibner. He's pretty cute. Dr. Parfait is a therapy dog. He is well trained, but getting him there wasn't easy. And so I want to share a quick story with you about how Parfait became Dr. Parfait. The very first time that I started the lessons to get him to be a therapy dog, I had a dog trainer come to our house. And of course I had shampooed Parfait and got him all foo-foo so that he'd be ready for this. I'm going to show off my dog. So the dog trainer comes in and we have a little talk about alpha behaviors and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know why she's teaching me. It's the dog who needs to learn something. And so she says, okay, well, why don't you show me what Parfait can do? And I said, okay. So I stand up and I said, okay, Parfait, sit. Parfait wagged his tail. He jumped up on me. He jumped up on the trainer. He did everything but sit. I figured he was just excited, you know, so I turned to the trainer and I said, okay, he's just excited. Give him a minute. And she said, it's fine, it's fine. She's writing notes. I said, Parfait, sit. He ran, he got his toy, he came back. It was a disaster. I was so embarrassed. And I turned to the trainer and I said, listen, he really does know this stuff. I don't know what the problem is. I'm sorry, let me try it again. And she put her hand on my arm. She said, don't bother. I said, what? She said, Wendy, I'm going to teach you something and I need you to remember this. I said, okay. Dogs don't speak English. And so I went into my whole big thing that all of us who own dogs know. I said, of course he does. Of course he does. He understands me. When I say things to him, he gets it. And she said, no, Wendy, dogs understand behavior. And then you teach them the word associated with the behavior, and that they get. So she tried to get me to change how I think about that cute little dog. It wasn't working for me at all. So she said, okay, look, let me give you an assignment. Every time he does anything you like, you're going to reward him for doing it, and that's all I want you to do. So for this first week, every time he sits, I want you to give him a treat and say, good boy. I said, that's all? She said, yeah. So I followed him around the house like a maniac, and every time he sat, I gave him a treat, and I said, good boy. Well, pretty soon he was coming to me and sitting. Right? He figured it out. So I was like, oh, good boy. So I gave him a treat. All right, next week she says, good. Now every time he sits, say the word sit. Okay. So he would come, he would sit, and I would say, good boy, sit, and give him a treat. He got it. Over time, he learned to do lots of things. For example, when I say, oh, Parfait, isn't it sad? I didn't lose any weight on my diet. And he goes, so we have lots of things we learned over time. But what this taught me is something that all my years of education never taught me, which is that we're all like dogs. Not only is he a board-certified analyst who has 1,000 PhDs and knows more than any of us put together, he has a very special job in these workshops. We call him the prize meister.
That's me.
Now, every time any of you does anything that the prize meister thinks of as 5-star service worthy, he's going to give you a prize.
I've already been doing it to a bunch of you.
Now, you may not even know what you did, and that's okay. That's the dog part. I trust your brains.
You'll figure it out.
You will figure out what you did, and you'll start doing more of it, and you may not even know it consciously, and that's okay. Because here's the lesson to be learned. Each of you already knows how to do 5-star service. If you didn't, those 8 components would have said 100%. So let me tell you where you messed up. You told us that at least 50% of the time you're already doing this stuff. So now we just have to get you to do more of it. We don't really need to teach you anything new. We just have to remind you what you do naturally and help you to do it on purpose. We need to help you to trust your own instincts and then use those instincts on purpose. We need to help you to look at what you know about people. From all of your years of experience, you know about people. You know what they need from you in order to feel special. We just have to help you to do that on purpose more often. So there's not a whole lot going on here that's going to be different than what you've already done. I will be surprised if you learn much of anything new over the next 5 months, other than how to remind yourself to focus on the people. Focus on the people. You already know how to do the tasks. Now, I know some of you are new and you're still learning, and I get that, and you'll learn the tasks. And when things are going crazy, it's hard to focus on the people, but I need you to do it anyway. Because if you keep your focus on the people while you're doing the tasks, everything will change for your practice.